Hello everyone! Today I'm doing a collab video. Freedom in a Budget started this collab and there's going to be lots of people doing it, so you can look down in the description box below to see the other videos. And this is definitely one where you should watch all the videos because we're talking about our budget styles and why we like them so much. Everybody's budgets differently, but I'm sure that you can learn a few good tips off of each video. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching them. Even though I love my budget style, it never hurts to learn something new and probably a new way of helping out our budget. So mine is done in Excel. I'm an Excel spreadsheet nerd. Also, I'm really sick today, like with the cold, so sorry if I'm like not all there. You know how it is when you're sick. Okay, so here's a little, I've picked an old one that I had printed out, but I do have other videos which I'll also put below that show more of our detailed budget if you want to go check them out. So yeah, let's just get started. As I said, mine is done in Excel, and our budget is very detailed. We've been doing it for so long. There's lots of categories, lots of sinking funds and stuff. If you're new, we are debt-free. We've been debt-free for at least a year and a half now, so we've been doing this for a long time. Like I said, it's very detailed, so that's why my Excel spreadsheet works great for us. But the one thing that I do dislike about it is that I have to open up my computer to access it. I've always been envious of people who have been able to do it on pen and paper, but I just don't see how that could ever work for us. I've never tried it, but I don't, with as much as there is into it, I don't know how that would work. So that's why it's a little bit annoying sometimes when I want to look at my budget and I have to go open the computer, start it up and all that stuff. It takes, sometimes my computer's slow, so it might take a while. So that's the only thing I dislike about it. But anyways, we're supposed to share with you 3 things that we like about our budgeting style. Number 1, because it's done in Excel, I can, at the beginning of the month, it's easy to just copy the previous month and paste it into a new tab. All I have to do is change the numbers to whatever is needed for that month. And also, I can easily go look at past budgets. Like if I want to look at, right now it's August, if I want to look at August of 2015, all I have to do is go to that tab, click on it, and it's there. And it's fun sometimes to go back and look at what you were spending 1 or 2 years ago and compare it to what you're spending now, and especially if you're in debt, and it's fun to go back and look, oh my goodness, I was paying this much to debt. So I like how easy it is to navigate the tabs and that I can keep my budgets forever. Alright, the second thing that I like about the way we budget is the fact that you can see it all on one screen. I mean, when we're on the computer, you might have to do a little bit of scrolling, but for the most part, we have a very detailed budget, but it's all right there because of the way I have it set up. Going across, you know, it's not all down. You don't have to scroll down a whole bunch. We can leave comments, like for groceries. Every time I use the debit card or if I take cash out, I put a comment in that box and the amount and where it was spent. So when I'm going back and looking over our budget, I move my mouse over that cell and it shows the comments, and so I can see where the money was spent. So I'm the one that does all the budgeting. Jared just comes in when we have our budget meetings and he'll look through it. So that's easy for him to see. He just hovers over the cell and sees where he spent his money. He needs to be keeping track of it himself, but that's a work in progress. He's not very good at that. So it's very helpful for him when I leave the comments and he can see where the money was spent. And like I said, it's all right there. And another thing, I asked Jared what he likes about the way I budget. He likes how I have it set up with the top part is pretty much our fixed amounts, you know, our utilities, the mortgage, daycare, car insurance, things like that don't change very much. I mean, I know utilities somewhat change for us, but that's the top half. And then the middle part is things like groceries and gas, which we can consider variable depending on what's going on that month. They can change a little bit. And it's also or would utilities be considered variable? Nah, it's different. You can call it variable, or you can call, also I consider our cash envelopes. These are the categories that I take cash out for, our personal, grocery, eating out, things like that. And then highlighted in green, I have our sinking funds. We have lots of sinking funds. We do lots of saving. So like I said, all right there. This one is on 2 pages. You do have to do some scrolling around some, not a big deal. but I like that I can leave comments all over the spreadsheet and just delete them as needed, or highlight them if it's important, or I can change the colors, and I know what they mean. Jared may not know what it means, but I do. So like one thing I have over here is I always have that our goal is to have $2,100 left at the end of the month. And that's another thing I need to point out. Okay, it's very important to not only do a budget, but to do a zero-based budget. We are, for the most part, a commission. My husband works on commission-based income, somewhat, not completely, but we do rely a lot on his commissions. So we don't exactly do a zero-based budget the way that Dave Ramsey suggests to do it. But you know what? We've been doing this so long, like I said, and this works for us. Over the past couple years, we've seen what we spend on average a month, which could range from $4,000 to $6,000 a month. You know, that includes everything. When we go on vacations, that's why it averages out to about $5,000 a month. So we know with his fixed salary, we know what we need to have left over at the end of the month to roll over into the next month, so that we have enough money for the month. And so that number, which for us has come up to about $2,000, that's pretty much our zero. That's like our zero-based budget. If we have $2,000 left at the month, that's a good thing. And if there's more than that, it means we can put that toward our savings, or if we were in debt, we would put it towards debt. So that works for us. Also, as far as the setup goes, how we have it kind of in order, like I said, we also do it weekly. So you know, we usually will get together at the end of the week or at the end of 2 weeks and kind of go over it. And so we know what our paycheck's going to be. When you subtract everything, you see at the end of the week how much you got left over. And so I just like having it very detailed in that way. Also, like by the time you get to week 3, maybe we'll see that we're getting close to our food budget, our grocery budget. So it's like, oh, well, we need to chill out, we need to find some cheap meals, maybe do a clean out the pantry and fridge week for dinners on the last week. Yeah, that leads me into number 3. The number 3 reason why I like our budget and doing our budget in Excel is because of all the formulas. It makes it quick and easy. So as you can see, we have our income over here, up here at the top, and then you enter the formula in down here, income minus outgo, and it totals it up for you what you have left at the end of the month. So that's why we do that weekly. At the end of each week, we can see what we have left. And then also we have it done formulas over here where we can see, I put in what our budget amount is, and then as we pull money out, cash out, or as we use our debit card, it totals it up along here, and we have a formula under actual. So it will total up what our actual is, and then that will compare to our budget. And over here, there's a formula that will tell us whether we are going over or under. So that is very helpful to see that. And then at the end, the very bottom, as you can see, I picked a good month. We were under budget. That doesn't happen very often. As you can see down here, it tells you total. Were you over or under? Right here, we were under $100. Woohoo! Okay, and as I said, just more notes. I keep notes everywhere. Maybe things that I need to remember for the next month to budget for, or things like that. Okay, so those are the 3 top things I love about doing a budget in Excel. Also want to point out that for my sinking funds, this just shows what we're putting per month into our sinking funds. I have a separate spreadsheet that is just for sinking funds, and it's split up by month. It's all in one sheet. Each month I put how much we put into that fund, and then at the bottom it totals up what we have in that sinking fund. So if I ever lose that, that would. But yeah, I know Excel does not work for everybody, but that's what I love about it. Just find it very simple for us to go over. Okay, one more thing I do want to point out. When I first started budgeting years ago, we first got on Dave Ramsey's plan, or so I thought I was budgeting. I had my Excel spreadsheet. I had all our bills listed. I remember it was all down one column, and I had, you know, eating out and things like that. You know, I was just learning how to categorize things, but I wasn't telling our money where to go at the beginning of the month, which is the most important. It's like as we would spend our money, I'd go enter it into that spreadsheet, and then the end of the month would come and we'd look back on it and be like, oh my gosh, we just spent $1,000 on eating out. Like, that's crazy, and we gotta stop that. And then the next month would come around and we did the same thing. And it's because we didn't create a set amount that we needed to spend on eating out. And you know, you create that amount and you stick to it. So that's what is important about budgeting, and that's not what we were doing. So if you're doing that, you need to stop. You need to come up with a number that works for you, that you can afford, and that's how you budget it correctly. Again, thank you for watching, and definitely go check out the other videos. Can't wait to see them. Thanks to Freedom and a Budget for starting this, and thank y'all for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Go check out my other budget videos if you haven't already seen them about how we do our detailed budget. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.